Good morning and welcome back to this week's episode. My name is Anthony Evans and welcome back to the Morning Horizons podcast. It was funny, today of all the days, one of my coworkers brought up this idea of stopping the wasted habits. The drinking, the smoking, the screen time, especially the screen time, where today's day and age it's out of control. And I'm guilty, I take part in that. If I were to tally up the hours of how much time I waste during the day, I have more than I'd like to admit. But they brought it up to me. They said, I'm quitting this phones. I'm quitting smoking. And I'm just taking a break. I'm going to take 3 days off of work, they said. And as they're telling me this, I just started getting flooded. I felt guilty almost. What am I doing that is negatively or neutrally affecting my day-to-day? Because if you put time into something and it doesn't give anything back, it's wasted. Maybe that's talking to someone who you'd rather just not talk to. Maybe it's watching TV or YouTube on your phone when the reality is you could probably be doing something better. It brought up this idea of willpower. The ability to set a rule and follow it, which I'm sure a lot of people do. But as funny as it is, I think that they hold the standard for other people. If you have this buddy of yours and you say, we're going to go hang out at the coffee shop every Monday at 6 to 7 at night. It's a weird time, but maybe it's early morning or early night. It doesn't really matter the time, but you make plans on it. And the first Monday rolls around and they don't show up. So you reach out to them, you say, hey man, you're not here. What's up? And they give you some excuse. It's one thing or another, but it's an excuse. I just wasn't feeling today. So you say, okay, next Monday. And the same thing happens. They're not there. And you try again another week. Next Monday, it's rolling around and they're still not there. Now any of you with reasonable thoughts are going to say, he's just not doing it. I'm not going to keep investing my time into something that's just not happening. There's no point in me showing up to this coffee shop to wait on them. I'm going to pack my bags. I'm going to go. I'm out of here. It's just not important to you. I keep making it important for me, but it's not important for you. So I'm moving on. I'm going to move on. But we don't hold ourselves to that same standard. You say, I'm going to do the dishes every night. Every single night before I go to bed, those dishes are going to be done. And sooner than later, you're going to bed and there's 4 plates in the sink. That's okay, I'll just do them in the morning. And then you don't do them in the morning. Or you do them in the morning and that becomes the standard. You say, I'm not going to do them tonight. I'll do them in the morning. And you're compromising with yourself. We're good at that. We're good at pushing the necessity and the responsibility off when we disappoint ourselves. That was a hard thought for me to come across. It really was, because I have people in my life that I hold to a high standard. But when it comes to me and I make a mistake, or I don't follow through on it, I just push it off. I upset me, and I don't feel the pressure that should be fixed. Whereas if I upset someone else, I look down, there's a negative social interaction, as it would be where we feed off of a social image. And when we feel like we're disappointing people, that's negative. My word of advice is to stay strong on your standards. And carry yourself. But also know that when responsibilities are slacking, maybe put yourself on the stage. Put yourself in the courtroom and judge accordingly. Now, I'm not saying, I messed up, and now I will not be good at anything for the rest of my life. That's extreme. I would lean away from extremes, but maybe say, oh, I didn't do this. That's it. Until this gets done, this is the punishment. This is what happens because I did not follow through. And own the standards that you put in place for yourself. It's gonna be tough. It is. And I hope for my coworker that they hear this message. They're very adamant about watching the podcast. They find that it brings a lot of joy to them. And good luck. And in the moments where you feel like you just can't do it, you can't carry the weight of your standard, push a little farther. Raise that hand as high as you can. Raise it as high as you can real quick for me. And it's there. And there's no possible way you could raise it any higher. I bet you see where this is going. Raise your hand even higher than the last time. And if you remember these words, you will find that the impossible that you face is more than possible. And that no matter what you're doing, you have what it takes to keep going and keep pushing. Have a wonderful week. A longer episode than usual, but I feel like the message that is there. Push yourself to meet the standards that you apply to yourself as if you're someone else. Be your greatest friend and greatest ally, but also understand that you have to be your greatest critic at the end of the day, because only you are responsible for you. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next episode of The Morning Horizons, where we bridge the gap between the horizon and the infinite. Bye-bye.